You mentioned some success as a visitor, obviously with the no-hitter, July 25th, 2015. Just put that in the words and how special that day was. It was a sold-out Wrigley, obviously, and by the end of it, I think everybody was rooting for you to do it.
I think that's what really stuck out. Yeah. I think I had a couple rough starts before that, so you're just trying to figure it out. You're going up against Arrieta, who obviously had one of the best years I think we've seen in second half from a starter. So I knew I was going up against a good guy, good lineup. I just started plugging away, and as you really start to notice in that 8th, 9th inning when you have home fans standing on their feet, rooting for every pitch, every strike, every out. That's when the emotion kind of builds up, and that's when you're doing something special in a very special ballpark, very special city. So for me to come out on the better end of that, it was something that I'll always remember. I was able to have my wife in the stands, which is rare sometimes on the road, and especially when you do something great, shouldn't have to watch or hear about it from TV. So it was great for her to be there in person. And it's just a tremendous memory for all of us that were a part of it. Great teammates that a lot of them are no longer in the game, so we have that together. That we had a big crucial run when I was with the Phillies. So there's a lot of great memories that all kind of culminated right into that one day. And it did. It's something that I think all of us at Wrigley will always remember, and I still hear about it, which is it's a great honor.
0-2. Fastball got him swinging. Milwaukee leaves them loaded. Very much behind and just to the left of the second base bag. Davis skies one down the right field line towards the wall. Back goes Lacroix. He's at the wall. This ball is gone. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win. Brennan Davis, a walk-off 2-run home run, and the Cubs beat the River Bandits 4-3. The pitch. Ground ball hitting the hole left side, backhanded play. Weber jumping throw over to first, and he got him! Oh, what a play by Weber! Derek Jeter style jump and throw, and Andy Weber flashes the glove in this 4th inning.
Yeah, he's out.
He got him.
No, he was out.
As he has a really good lead. Front has no intention of throwing over. Here's a ripper down the right field line. That's going to be fair into the corner. Myers hustling around second. He did not get a head start, and he's going to be waved around. Throw goes into second. Here's the relay throw to the plate. Safe is Myers, an RBI double for Nico Cavadas. Irish lead 1-0. Payoff pitch. And he strikes him out. First strikeout of the day for Cameron Brown. Lead 1-0. Now here's the lefty Jung, who swings and drills one past the diving first baseman Steffen in the right field. Being waved around is Preisner. He'll score easily. To third goes Cavadas. RBI single for Daniel Jung. He does just that. A swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Picked up by Lamanna. Here's the throw to first to complete the strikeout. Lamanna lays down the signs. He sets up outside. Kick in the fire. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Picked up by Lamanna. Throw to first. That's the inning. This is hit in the air, shallow center. Myers lays out, and he's got it. What a play by Spencer Myers. There is number 5 in the dirt. Lamanna will throw to first. That completes the K. Let's see if Boyle can do it. Swing and a miss, ball in the dirt. Picked up by Lamanna. Throw to first, in time, completes the strikeout. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Boyle strikes out another. Been a rainy weekend. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 again. Back-to-back Ks. Got him swinging. Burlingame strikes out. Center fielder Myers with his speed in his usual spot. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Boyle strikes out his 6th. Did he bowl? The Irish are going to win. It's a walk-off walk yesterday and a walk-off walk today. Notre Dame wins 3-2.
Here's the 0-2 on the way. A pop-up towards shallow center. Rudder says he's got it. Under it. He makes the catch, and the South Bend Cubs are Midwest League champions. Jumping up and down over the mound in their red hats, celebrating the first Cubs championship since 2005. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win. 5-0 the final. And the Cubs become the 6th Midwest League team since 2000 to go undefeated in the Midwest League postseason. A perfect 7-0, and Buddy Bailey has won his 3rd championship as a member of the Chicago Cubs minor league system. The Cubs are champions. Peek at the middle of the blue line. Malmquist centers one to slot. Burke scores! Cal Burke got the pass from Malmquist. He acted as the midfielder on the power play.
And now Adam Keys. Looking Doyon, his shot deflects off the back of Young. Thrown back to the slot. Over the stick of Sampson. Doyon shot went just wide, and they score! Connor Chilton on the rebound. 3-3. Minute 41 to go. Youngworth now to the circle. Back to the top, O'Donnell. O'Donnell will fire one, and he scores! Youngworth again with the tip. It's a 2-goal third period for the sophomore from Minnesota. Adrian, though, did get one final goal in that first period, tying it 2 at 16:09. Bryce Van Horn on the power play. Both of these teams have scored once in the man advantage. Both teams are 1 for 5 on the power play, but that can change as Adrian opens this third period on the man advantage. They're in the black and yellow, moving from right to left. Aurora in the white and blue. They'll skate from left to right in this third period. A minute 40 of power play time remains for the Bulldogs to start this third period. And they start off very quickly with Zach Heinz, who skates so skillfully, but a quick clear by Chilton after Heinz turned it over. He was moving a little bit too fast. He lost at the line. Here is Hewins resetting the power play with a minute 20 to go on the man advantage. Adrian at risk of dropping their man advantage tonight to 1 for 6. This is Cam Beaudry saving it, whipping it around the boards, but saved at the line by Van Horn across to Balan, who opened the scoring tonight. Now down low in the corner, Balsamo. It's across for Ruffin. Ruffin on the far side board. Up for Hewins. Now Heinz. Down low again. Ruffin a shot through the blue paint. Balsamo might have gotten a stick on it. Now Heinz resets the man advantage. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Aurora sets up in the box. Ruffin changed positions. Drops back for Heinz. Aurora deep in their zone. Hewins at the blue line. Across to Ballant in tee up a one-timer. Ballant now creeps in. Off his skate. Backhanded through by Ruffin, but past the goal. Josh Boyko looking behind him. Cam Beaudry with some good work. Tipped out and cleared by Aurora. A big clear with 25 seconds to go on the power play. 18:40 to go in the third period. Deadlocked at 2 between these NCHA rivals. The Bulldogs looking for their second consecutive weekend sweep. They did it against Finlandia a couple weekends ago before the Thanksgiving break, beating them 7-0 and 9-1. Aurora trying to save from being swept. Lund, a quick shot that was blocked through. It is Lusani with it and taken by Youngworth. Out of the box is O'Donnell. He settles it down. O'Donnell on the breakaway. He is saved by Gray. Right on, but Gray was right with him. As we continue to play, stick on the ice right in front of Boyko. Rex Moa's shot deflects off of Boyko, loose in front of the circle. A stick is still on the ice. Luciani for Mo in the slot. A shot is blocked. Stopped in its tracks by Youngworth. Now a charging Drew Doyon is back on the ice. Good to see him back as Doyon grabs his first shift since being injured. We remain 2-2 in this third period. Lund, who is making his collegiate debut, jammed it off the boards. He got trapped behind the linesman, allowing Yannick to throw it right back in. Yannick deflects off his stick straight to Vinny Post. Post threw that hit on Doyon that injured him in that second period. Now their lines match up. Trapped behind the goal, Sampson. Marauded by Post in the corner. Keys turns it around and gets it to skating O'Malley up ice over the line. Spartans are onside. O'Malley taken to the boards on a nice hit by Madej. Keys watched it go past him straight to Sampson at the line. Now back down for Keys. A no-look pass tried to jam it in front for Baranovskis. That didn't work. Now Baranovskis in the corner. Lets Keys grab it. He threw it in front. Keys grabs his own rebound. Baranovskis a shot that went off the side of the net.
We remain 2-2 under 17 minutes to go. Hewins up ice. This will roll down, no icing on the play, so Boyko keeps it alive and rolls it along. Keys tape to Riley Doyon. Now he finds Chilton, straight to Doyon. The NCHA goals leader right on, but saved by Gray. The Spartans a breakaway already in this third period. Danny O'Donnell vouching for his first of the year, but the junior from Ventura, California, cannot sneak it past Cam Gray, who owns the 5th best goals against average in the NCHA. But on the other side of Cam Gray is Josh Boyko, who has the best goals against average and save percentage in the league. And good to see Drew Doyon back on the ice. 44 in white, wins the faceoff back to Rakia. Here's Liam Sturzinger, a turnaround shot that went off the shins of Brandon Marinelli. The puck is trapped behind the goal. Doyon on the forecheck. Adrian pushes ahead to Dino Balsamo, their senior goal-scoring leader. It's Balsamo poke-checked at the top of the slot. Marinelli couldn't get to it, and now here come the Spartans. It's Danny O'Donnell again for Youngworth. Youngworth down the right wing. Centers for O'Donnell. A reaching stick couldn't get on the puck. Down to the last 16 minutes of the third. It's Matt McNair down the right wing. He took a jab and a miss at a pass. Baranovskis right on him, the Latvian, all over the stick of McNair. Connor Chilton following Ballant closely. He centered for Hewins, who took a backhand. It was blocked through by Aurora traffic. Danny O'Donnell down to one knee to try and block that one. It squeaks back out for Ryder, who took a shot that deflects out of play. I think we knew this third period was going to shape up to be a good one. Towards the end of that second, you saw more pushing and shoving, a little bit more aggressiveness from both sides because they know that this is going to be a big win, whoever gets it. Aurora fell 4-2 last night, at risk of being swept for the first time this year. As that shot deflects out of play, and another faceoff will come to the right of Boyko. Boyko has made 20 saves to his mark so far. Cameron Gray getting towards that 25 save marker. He made 26 last night. This is pass rider. Now Riley Doyon with some speed. Down the right wing, he's cutting in. Couldn't center it to anybody though, but he kept with it behind the goal. Skated away by Ruffin, the former Alaska D1 player. Sam Ruffin is over the blue line. Ruffin shot off of Boyko off his shoulder. It's loose in front and they score. A big goal for Adrian, as the initial save was made by Boyko, but the Bulldogs squeak it past the junior from Mississauga, Ontario, and Adrian has the lead. Or are they going to wave it off? I think they may be waving it off, and they are. They're going to wave it off. Bryce Van Horn is called for a slash, and Adrian can't believe it. Van Horn goes to the box for the second time. Matt Eller, their alternate captain, is chatting with the referees, and now the refs are going over to the Adrian bench to explain what happened. So they give Van Horn the slash. The goal does not count. And on top of that, Aurora back on the other side of the ice with a man advantage trying to tie it. The Spartans with 10 shots on the power play tonight. They are just 1 for 5. But it remains a 2-2 game after the goal was reversed. Bryce Van Horn, the referees say on his way into scoring, he was caught for slashing. So no goal it is. 15 minutes to go in the game. And to say the least, the next goal is going to be gigantic. Yannick one-hands one across to Baranovskis. The Spartans are in 4-on-2 and onside. Baranovskis stops. Now they set up the power play. O'Donnell running the point. They go for Yannick on the right wing. Fresh troops on the ice for Aurora. Drew Doyon's pass was clipped and stopped by Matt Eller. He got the clear. Good stick by Eller right on the ice, stopping that pass from Doyon, trying to go back to Yannick. Baranovskis sets it up. Jack Yannick, the freshman, down the right wing. Yannick into the corner, curves across for Baranovskis in the opposite corner. To the middle of the blue line, O'Donnell across for Yannick, waiting, taking a shot that went over the bar. Might have gotten tipped as well.
Spartans with 60 seconds left on this man advantage. Slashing to Bryce Van Horn, his second time in the box tonight. Baronoffs gets a shot and a pad save by Gray. A big save by the junior from Austin, Texas. Baronovskis creeping towards the slot for O'Donnell, who tried to walk across Marinelli. It was poke check, but not all the way out. Some tired players on both sides. This is back out to Yannick. Couldn't center to the front of that. Drew Doyon is waiting right there patiently for a feed. Yannick went down for Doyon, and Rex Moe is going to be able to get a clear. 20 seconds left on the power play. Time for one last Aurora rush as they make a full change. Now just 15 seconds to set something up, so the Spartans are going to need to kind of have a run and gun style rush here on potentially their last power play of the night. Braden Sampson over the line. He's onside. He'll whip it around for Connor Chilton. Chilton watched it roll past him as Ryder scooped up. Now out of the box, it's Van Horn on a breakaway. He scores. Van Horn scored earlier. It was waved off. He went to the box for slashing. And on a breakaway right out of the box, he grabs his second goal of the game. It's 3-2 Adrian. What a pass to set up Bryce Van Horn. It was started by Terry Ryder in the Adrian D zone. Van Horn timed it perfectly for the pass. He was onside completely, and he put it past the 5-hole of Josh Boyko. And now the Spartans looking for an answer with just 13 minutes remaining in the third period. Off glass to Clay Keeley at the red line. So the Spartans unable to grab anything on the power play, and Bryce Van Horn made him pay as Youngworth taken hard into the glass. Larry Youngworth over the blue line. The NCHA points leader plays it for Doyon, and a pad save by Cam Gray. Sturzinger tossed it off the side of the net. Doyon checked into the boards again. His stick goes flying, as does the puck. It was stopped briefly by Sturzinger, and now here comes McNair, who has checked it open ice. Youngworth free down the right wing, but Hewins had the better read. Youngworth was kind of skating backwards. Hewins was skating forward the whole time, allowing them a little bit more momentum as this is turned over in the slot. And again, here come the Bulldogs. It is Zach Heinz, 2-on-1, drop pass for Balan, and a big save by Boyko with the blocker. Boyko keeps it a one-goal game. Aurora had the lead in this game briefly for just about 4 minutes or so. That was back in the first period. Van Horn's goal, the first since the initial 20 minutes. Roberts Baronovskis by himself. Van Horn broke up that chance. A good back check. And now Eller is tipped by Yannick. Yannick overran the puck. Now to the middle. Baronovskis throws a hit on the side. And now Adam Keys, the assist leader on Aurora. Can he set up something to potentially tie the game? A long pass winds up with Van Horn. He's in again. Van Horn looking for the hat trick. He took himself down. Van Horn went down himself. Nobody touched him. And that allows Aurora to lead their breakout. It's O'Donnell. O'Donnell backhands one in front of the big save by Gray. Robbing DiMatteo of what would have been the tying goal. Great action in this third period. But they tried to go to Hodson in the corner. It backfired. And now Wapahani, with 17 seconds, will gladly sit back. And as you mentioned, probably 12 seconds, get it started?
I think so. I think they got to go right now. There they go.
Trey Spence for Luce. Open three. Luce beats the buzzer. But a quick steal with a second left. Can't finish it off. Oh, what an ending that would have been for Trey Spence. But they hit the buzzer beater three. Both teams have a three-pointer to end a quarter today. And what a shot by Drew Luce.
Tremendous job by Luce knocking in, but again, great job of distributing the basketball by Spence. Both these players are outstanding.
34-30 after three quarters on Ninestar Films and the ISC Sports Network. 90 seconds to go from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Almost stolen by Castor. Davis gets it to the wing for Spence, and Spence is fouled again this time by Jacob Davenport.
I think that's a good call. Jacob Davenport was surprised that the whistle blew, but there was some contact, and frankly for Frankton that's a good foul because it stops the clock at a minute 20, and Spence, as great as he is as a player, has missed so many free throws in this ball game. But the great players, when the game's on the line, usually convert.
He's missed 3 in a row. And that one rattles in.
I just love his touch. It's just beautiful. Great fingertip control, great wrist control by this youngster. He is a pure shooter, but a great basketball player. It's beyond just scoring.
42-36 Wapahani. 6-point game, a minute 20 to go. And Frankton, something they probably don't like to do is being rushed. But they're going to have to create in a hurry. And another steal.
Great hands by Roush. Roush did a great job of getting right in the passing lane. There just was a lot of bodies in there for Wapahani. That's a big steal. Trying to close this one out with 109.
A successful trip to the line may do just that. It's going to be Evan Roush, a different look at the free throw line compared to the last few minutes where it's mainly been Trey Spence.
This could become a 3-possession game and really cause some concern for Frankton.
Roush, though, statistically shoots better from the line than Trey Spence does. 86%, a fellow senior.
Wow.
But he misses. Let's see what Frankton tries to do. It's Sheward carrying, Sheward to the right. Corner 3 for Davenport, connects.
Great job by Davenport. Set his feet behind the line to get a 3, and then the youngster Sheward found him in the corner.
This is far from over. Here's the press for Frankton. Can Wapahani break it? They get it to the corner, but right there to defend is Castor. Foul. Clock stopped at 44.5.
Blake Castor is a junior at 6'2". These are huge free throw or free throws right now. I think he's got 2. I think we've got a double bonus.
Yes, you do.
Wow. How many free throws have they missed now in a row? 5?
Spence made that 1. So I think they've missed 5 of the last 6.
Wow. They make at least 2 of them, the ball game's over.
Frankton has the ball back, 42-39. Davenport.
Henderson got popped in the face. He was down on the court for a minute and then ran down the court. They had numbers. Frankton had numbers. It's 5-on-4, and they call timeout as Henderson recovered.
Timeout on the floor, 42-39 Wapahani, 36 seconds left. What do we got in the huddles right now?
I think for Frankton, get the ball inside. Don't look for the three-point shot. Get the ball inside, draw a foul. They're not a really good perimeter shooting team, at least at this point in the season, although we did see number 20, Jacob Davenport, just drain a 3. Yeah. But I think they're better off getting the ball inside, and if I'm Frankton and Coach Brobston, maybe I set up some sort of play for Aiden Brobston, but use Ethan Bates as an option. Get the ball in Bates' hands. He's a very difficult player to handle, much like his counterpart, Trey Spence. If they can do that, they can get to the foul line, stop the clock, maybe knock down 2 free throws, and we've got ourselves even a closer ball game than we have right now.
Also to note, that was Jacob Davenport's first 3-point attempt this year. Not just make, attempt. What a time to take it.
It was beautiful, and he stepped back too. He exactly knew where he was. He saw the blue high school 3-point line, and he took about a half step or a full step back and just drained it. Beautiful shot.
Wapahani breaks the huddle first. They're in the black and red. Frankton, the white and red. Should be a fun ending with 36.5 or so seconds. Fouls are 10-1. How about that too, Mike?
That's pretty amazing in this basketball game. Again, I think Frankton can move the basketball and look for Brobson inside. There it was.
And went off of Roush. The inbound will come in front of the Frankton bench. They need to find somebody to take the inbounds. Give me Ryan Smith. 29 seconds left.
One thing for Wapahani, at least on that last possession, the inside guys were switching and almost cost them there as Castor switched with Henderson.
It's Brobston. Brobston, open three for the tie.
Oh!
He got it.
How do you like that? Henderson fell back. Let him take the shot.
42 all. 10 seconds left. Wapahani a chance to win it. Timeout on the floor. And what a big shot from Aiden Brobston.
Incredible, because early on, a couple shots Brobston had, they weren't very comfortable, but that time he just let it fly.
They invited him to come up to the three-point line like they were bringing him in his house. Come on in.
I think the biggest change.
Have yourself a beverage.
The biggest change for I'd love to have a beverage right now. The biggest change for Frankton and Wapahani is the fact that in the last 2 or 3 possessions, Wapahani's missed countless free throws, and then the other thing is they just haven't been able to get the ball in their guards' hands for whatever reason. And the guards, for the most part, have been dominating the game. And I look at the scoreboard, I think to myself, how in the world can Frankton be tied with Wapahani? It's amazing.
It is amazing. Wapahani 7-1, Frankton 3-3. But interestingly, 3-0 away from home. This would be considered a neutral win, but would be 4-0 away from home total. But Wapahani has a chance to win it. 9.9 seconds on the clock. It is 42 all between Frankton and Wapahani at the Really Big Basketball Holiday Show. Trey Spence has the ball. Into the lane, Trey Spence is fouled. He'll go to the line to potentially put Wapahani up.
You had to figure that they would get Spence the ball in his hands. He's a tremendous basketball player. One-on-one with Luke Seward. Had a little bit of help from Aiden Brobson coming up from that weak side there as you take a look at it. But Seward picks up the foul, but this young man, Spence, he has missed a whole lot of foul shots. He's got to convert here.
They have missed 5 of their last 6.
Oh, my goodness. It's just one of those games for him. Nothing seems to fall.
This free throw would still be a potential game winner. 4.9 seconds on the clock.
Wow. Nothing but net that time.
Wapahani leads by 1. And now Frankton will have a chance to win it.
I'm surprised Wapahani goes to the bench, sends out Davis, is pretty tall. Thought they might want some size on the wings here.
Seward quickly got it to the sideline. Timeout is called. 2.8 seconds on the clock. With that amount of time, with the guys you have, if you're Coach Brobson, what are you drawing up?
Well, there's still plenty of time with 2.8 seconds to distribute the ball and reverse it somewhere. And I still think that his son, Aiden Brobson, is the best choice, wherever they choose to have him. And it depends where they throw the basketball in, but I think somehow they set some screens for Brobston. But at the same time, if I'm Wapahani, I'm going to play zone. Don't play man-to-man. If they play man-to-man, I think that gives Frankton a better chance to break down their defense. That's just a thought. Don't know if that will happen. But frankly, Frankton has a chance, as we see, to win the basketball game.
And what an ending it would be to the Really Big Basketball Holiday Show. It's been a very fun day. And this has been a perfect nightcap.
Wow.
A battle, a 12-round classic fight.
The coaches have done a great job calling timeouts, settling their teams down, controlling tempo, changing defenses, running great plays. It's been exceptional.
Referees calling both teams back on the floor. They did put some time on the clock, 3.2 seconds. The inbound will come in front of the scorer's table. It'll be made by Seward. Seward's pass will go under the basket. It's going to go to Brobston. Brobston puts one up for the win. No good. Wapahani wins. Brobston just couldn't get the roll. We go to the second overtime.
From the Spartan Athletic Park, Brendan King, Andrew Zimmerman, glad to have you with us. The Spartans, Andrew, were inches away from winning the game on a bullet shot by Christian Duarte, but the post ended up being Nate Miller's best friend at that case.
Yeah, Duarte's had a couple great shots here today. He's put 6 on cage, but just hasn't been able to get one to hit the back of the net, and I'm sure he certainly wishes he could have that one back.
Down to the last 10 minutes of the day regardless. It's either a team scores or we end in a tie. Remember, the Spartans have not tied a team this year. They are 10-4, have yet to have anything in that last column for tie games. So let's see if Aurora can go win this. In the second half of overtime, there's 9.5 minutes left as 30 seconds have gone by in the second OT. A rolling ball wide of Rutherford. It's going to be kicked out. Erickson has to track this down. He pops it up behind him for KU to retrieve. Jalen Deppenbrock made a big save in that overtime as well, robbing David Regan. So Deppenbrock made the big save, and Miller got the help of his post. Both goalkeepers stood strong in that OT, preventing a golden goal. This will be a foul on Platteville, and it'll go the opposite way. So far, the Spartans, the only team that have been booked. A yellow card to Henry Zanel. That is all. 2-2 game, and the last 8 minutes or so of OT. This is Tovar carrying. He also exited with an injury earlier. Injuries have piled up for Platteville, but again, they have gone to their bench a good 15 separate times today. They have plenty of reinforcements available. This is Garcia. The sun was right in his face when he was trying to track that, but he came away clean with it. And now Acosta tried to chip it ahead. He took down his man. Let's going to stay with Aurora. That went off of Platteville last. Just 2 minutes have gone by in this overtime. 2-2 game. Clock has not been stopped in OT yet, so 3 minutes have ticked by. Platteville the throw in their defensive half. Aurora in the white and blue, Platteville the blue and orange. Aurora in this second OT half attacks left to right, Platteville right to left. This is for Rutherford. Rutherford for Napolitano, the senior with 2 goals yesterday. He carries in. Napolitano kicks to his left. Just could not break through. But this is straight to Carrillo, moving to his right, lost it. Now Mancera. Mancera for the running, Addison Frabler. But this will go down to Deppenbrock's goal. Outside for KU. Now Mora on the far side. In the air towards Acosta. He kept that in. He's going to be free to track this down between 2 Pioneers. He took down his man, and we continue to play. Duarte struck the post in OT. Out in front, Napolitano scores! Spartans win! Napolitano, his 3rd goal of the weekend, has won the game for Aurora, 3-2.
Yeah, Duarte there with the great pass. Made a great move to get himself open, and the great pass there to Duarte, who finished it for the Spartans.
Duarte missed out on 2 points in the first overtime, but he grabs a point here. That's going to be Duarte's 6th assist. Napolitano is now back for a tie for the lead in goals on the team. Justin Rutherford put the Spartans on the board to start. That was his 7th goal of the year, and here is Napolitano's 7th as he wins the game for the Spartans in the second overtime. What a pass, what a read to get that to the senior at the middle.
Yeah, great offense there for the Spartans and a great way to end it. to what will be now a 10-game win streak for the Spartans.
10 in a row. Aurora improves to 11-4. They won't need to take that tie and now improve their home record to 8-1. Wisconsin-Platteville will fall below 500 to 6-7-2. And what a way as well now set up maybe your 3 most important games of the year, all in conference. Because if you even tie that, that would mean that Platteville completed the comeback, were able to finish off the tie. But now you get the win going into 3 huge games in the next week and a half.
Yeah, bringing yourself to a 10-game win streak with probably 3 of your most toughest games of the season coming in this next week and a half. It's very good. They're hitting their stride at the right time here at the end of the season, and they've got high aspirations for how this season's going to end. And right now it seems like they're doing everything possible to achieve that regular season conference championship.
Jalen Demper-Brock adds another win. He's 9-1. That .89 goals against average will go slightly up, but the freshman stood strong in goal in that OT, made a couple big saves.
Yeah, he had a great day today, and 7 saves total on the day. And there were a couple there in overtime that were probably the biggest of the day. And if it weren't for his great play back there, the Spartans certainly wouldn't have won this contest today.
3-2 Spartans in 2 OTs. Fun day at the Spartan Athletic Park. Aurora sweeps the weekend, 6-0 over Lakeland, 3-2 over Wisconsin-Platteville. That was a lot of fun. Matt Napolitano, 3 goals for the weekend on his senior weekend. Have a weekend, Matt Napolitano. Thanks for being with us on Aurora.edu. Brendan King with Andrew Zimmerman. We'll talk to you next time. The next home game is going to be the big one against Dominican on October 30th. Between that time, the Spartans will be at Benedictine and at Marion. So long, everybody. It's a Spartan 3-2 overtime winner.
And here live on the South Bend Cubs Facebook page, Brendan King joined alongside Chicago Cubs pitching prospect is Justin Steele, newly added to the 40-man roster entering the season after Tommy John surgery, recovering and rehabbing a little bit. Justin, great to have you at the Cubs convention.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on the Facebook Live. So let's get right into it. You're a former South Bend Cub.
Yep.
2016, a pretty stacked team with Eloy Jimenez.
Yep.
James Norwood was on that team as well. But you were just a 20-year-old.
Yeah,
and we were talking off the air that you have said you've only seen snow 4 times, and one of it you had to pitch in. Is that right?
Yeah, seen snow about 4 times in my life, and one of them was the worst, and I had to pitch in it. It was rough. Like a little boy from South Mississippi ain't never pitched in the snow before, so it was a little rough.
And what's that experience like trying to grip the ball? I know you said a pickoff move went wrong.
I couldn't feel the ball. Like, I seriously could not feel the ball in my hand. My hand was so numb, and I tried to pick off first, and I just sailed it. I threw it, and I was like, I had no idea where that was going when I threw it.
Well, it's a chilly night at Cubs convention here.
Yeah.
I think, well, if it snows, there might be 7 or 10 inches of snow on the way, so we'll see about that.
I'm
Hopefully,
honestly ready to see it. I'm honestly ready to see it. I'm excited.
As long as you're inside, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
But again, in 2016, 77 in the third innings with South Bend, 76 strikeouts as a 20-year-old. Now, just tell me about that year and things you remember about being successful at 4 wins.
Honestly, that year in South Bend, if I had one thing to say about it, it was probably the most important year of my learning career, because I learned more in that year than I did in any other career, because that was any other year, because that was the first year I actually struggled. I saw adversity, and you're not going to learn until you start failing, because you learn from failure. So, I mean, once I got to South Bend, I started failing a lot. I started learning more, and that I got better more in that year than I had any other year, for sure.
And since then, a good year in Myrtle Beach, and then this past year, as we just mentioned, you're coming off an injury, had to rehab a little bit. What was that process like, trying to come back from Tommy John?
I mean, going into it, I had a really good year in South Bend right before I tore it. And, I mean, the mindset going into it, I was thinking I had the surgery in August, thinking like, man, I was so close to going home. I was so close to seeing my family. But you kind of have to get your mind out of that mindset and think like, what, it's time to work, like I got to get better. Like I'm hurt right now, but I need to come back next season ready. And I want the Cubs to be able to use me at some point, like you got to be able to put your mind in the right place, especially during rehab, because it's the off season, but you're still working. Like you gotta do shoulder work, you gotta do workouts. I would say that off season was the hardest I've ever worked, because I knew I had some time to catch up on.
Since the surgery, a lot of times guys coming back from Tommy John surgery will see a little boost in their fastball. Has that happened to you in anywhere? Has the surgery helped pitches in any form? I
would say it definitely made my arm stronger. I mean, you do so much shoulder work, and you're not throwing while you're doing that shoulder work, so your arms are going to just naturally build up strength. So, I mean, I would say I'm coming off of Tommy John, I'm the strongest I've ever been, but I'm also very young at the same time. So, I mean, you meet your strongest points at different times. But I would say my strongest point in my career so far has been at that time because I was right out of a season working really hard, and then I just had to keep working hard because I had to go right into surgery. I had to start my rehab process right away. So, I mean, I would say at that point I was, at the top of my game. I was working every day. That's just what you got to do during a rehab process.
Now, coming back from that to focus on a little bit outside of the game, I understand you're a pretty big video games guy. You could check out your Twitter. I think you have in your bio as well.
Yeah.
What are your go-to video games on the road?
On the road, it'd probably be Fortnite because a lot of teammates, a lot of teammates play Fortnite and they want to play Fortnite with me because I get them easy dubs. Just how it goes.
Squads or duos or
doesn't matter. You put me in a game, I'm gonna give you the best chance to win it.
Which one do you have more dubs in?
Oh, squads, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I have over like 700 wins in squads, something like that. And
700?
Yeah, and I play.
I have 2.
And I play by myself too. Like I play like squads by myself.
And so you don't even know these people.
Like I don't even know them. I just play by myself, and like I'll win it by myself sometimes.
So, I really hope baseball works out for you. But if not, maybe the next.
It's always there.
Yeah. I mean, those guys make a ton of money.
You can ask my mom. I've been practicing since I was like 12 years old.
His family's watching right over there.
Yeah, I've been practicing for quite some time now.
There you go, Chris Hagstrom with
She used to get mad at me because I wouldn't do homework.
But
she knew it was important.
Around that time, it would have been what, the PS2 or 360?
That would have been PS3, PlayStation 3. My freshman and sophomore year of high school was probably when I was biggest into it. I mean, I wasn't even good at baseball at that point. Like I was good at video games. That's what I was doing.
Well, you always have that to fall back on.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, man, I'm not gonna make it in this baseball thing. I'm gonna have to fall back on video games. So that was kind of the plan at that point.
Back to the Cubs, so added to the 40-man roster. How much does that mean to you?
It meant the world, man. I mean, especially coming off of like a big rehab year, going into this season knowing it was my Rule 5 year. It was a huge year for me. And for most of the year, I'm going to be on the bench, like rehabbing, trying to get better. And the fact that I was able to come back as fast as I did, as strong as I did, is like just with as much surge as I did. I had a lot of attention on me. I went back into Myrtle Beach, had like 4 starts there, did what I had to do. Then went to Tennessee for 2 starts, showed what I had there. And then I went to the Fall League. And then, after that, got added to the 40-man. it was one of the best feelings of my life. But, I hope there's a lot more better feelings to come very soon. That's the plan,
Well, and absolutely. You saw the fan reaction tonight. Tonight was one of your first public autograph signings here at Cubs Convention. Just wrapped up a few minutes ago here in the Ohio room. How did that go? Meeting fans of all kinds.
Yeah, it was awesome. What I heard was it was a random. It was like a random signing, so it was bringing in a random player. So I saw the line walking into it. I'm like, these guys are thinking they're getting Chris Bryant or something. Not a minor.
But they knew it was you. They were
they
coming
knew
in
it was
saying,
me.
"Hi,
They
Justin."
knew it was me. I was very surprised. I had a lot of baseball cards. They knew they were calling me by my first name. I was very impressed. It was really cool.
What was the most interesting thing you think you signed?
There was a guy that came in and said he was a Georgia fan, and I was saying Roll Tide.
Right.
I was saying Roll Tide.
That was the start of it. That was
felt
pretty funny.
so bad because Georgia should have been in the playoffs probably.
Well, probably at the end of the day, but
because especially the way Alabama looks in that national championship game. I'm a diehard Bama fan since Nick Saban's been there. That's the worst I've ever seen Alabama.
Well,
Georgia would have done better against Clemson.
Clemson's claiming
that night.
Dabo Swinney's claiming that's the best college football team ever.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
they look very good.
And without the defensive
also
line,
at the same
this
time,
is going into a football talk.
Being a diehard Bama fan, as bad as Clemson beat them, I still say this: if they played 10 times, I think Bama wins 6 times.
I agree.
6 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
I think they're
and a healthy Tua.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you put the teams together, they play 10 times. I think Bama wins 6.
That's Justin Steele. The guy plays video games. The guy throws heat. Talks about football. You got 3 good options there.
No football. I was raised in it.
3 good options there. Justin Steele, thanks for joining us on Facebook
thank you.
Live.
I appreciate it.
Former South Bend Cub, thanks for watching on Facebook Live. A lot of good stuff planned for this weekend. We will talk to you all tomorrow from Cubs Convention.